Hi, I'm making an instructional video to show you how to do this gizmo, Rainfall and bird beaks. So let's go ahead and take a look together. So you want to read through the prior knowledge a little bit, see if you can answer some of the questions. Which one do you think has a beak that's adapted to small, delicate seeds? Which one has a beak that's adapted to large, tough to crack seeds, and why? And then we'll look at some finches that Darwin found on the Galapagos Islands when he was sailing around, and he noticed all these different finches on different islands, and they seemed to be similar, but then there were some differences depending on climate and food sources on the island. So here he's measuring the beak depth of the finch. So we're going to go ahead and look at the gizmo. The average beak depth is right here, 10.2. I don't know if, probably the 10.2. And then you're going to look at the histogram right here and see, do all the finches have the same beak depth? Well, if you look, the beak depth is along the bottom, and these numbers right here tell you how many finches in 1,000. In a population of 1,000, 270 have a beak depth of 11. So that's a little bigger than the average. The average is about 10. So you've got 220 have a beak depth of 10. But you can see that the average is going to be a little more than 10 because we've got a lot that have 11 and then some that have 12, 13, 14, and just a few have a beak depth of 6. So that's how to read that histogram. And then we're going to go ahead and press play and play for 5 years and see the graph. So let's go to the graph. Let's play for 5 years. And we haven't changed anything with the rainfall. Right now we're leaving it at 10 inches of rain a year. And we can see that after 5 years, here is the population of finches. The population of finches seems to be staying around 1,000, right? That's how many we had, about 1,000, and it tends to kind of fluctuate depending on the time of the year. So this is kind of the early part of the year, this is the end of the year, early part of the year, end of the year. So you notice that the population seems to be increasing in the first half of the year and decreasing in the second half of the year over time. So does the beak depth change significantly? So let's look. I don't think so, because it was around 10 point something before, so it looks like they're kind of similar. The average is about the same. It does kind of flatten out a little bit. There's not that big one in the 11 category, but it kind of spreads out a little bit up. I don't see much of a change. Okay, let's go ahead and click reset. Oh, yeah, actually it did change. It kind of flattened out. Okay, so let's go ahead and read the introduction. It says the Galapagos Islands are very dry. Some islands only 5 inches of rain. Has a big impact on the type of seeds available. In the process of natural selection, only the finches that are best adapted to the available seed types survive and have offspring. So we're going to go ahead and set the rain to 10 inches, and we're going to click play and pause after 1 year. Okay, so definitely adding, oh, they are set at 10 inches. Okay, so we're going to take a look after 1 year, and we're going to look at table. All right, so 1 year, stop. Did we get to 1 year? Oh, maybe we need like a little bit more. Okay. Well, here we can see. So we're going to go ahead and answer the questions. How did the finch population change? So how did the population change? So this is the number of finches. You're going to look at, we kind of looked at this on the graph, but here's month 1. You're going to just look through the year and see what's happening to the population. Okay. When is it peaking? When is it declining? So there we go. I'll look at those numbers and see what's happening. Finches have their young during the rainy season. Based on the table, which part of the year do you think is the rainy season? When do you think, if they're having babies, that the population should be going up? So what part of the year do you see their population going up? And that would be the rainy season. Okay, now we're going to go to histogram, and we're going to look at the number of finches that have different beak sizes. So we're going to look at the average beak depth, which we already know is 9.8 here, and the range in beak depths in the population. So the range is kind of like the smallest to the largest beak depth. So that would be the range, we could say, is like 6 to 13. This might not be exactly, because see how I went over a little bit. So hopefully if you did it better, you stopped right at 12 months. And then you're going to just answer these questions, and you're going to play it for 5 years, see what happens to the average beak depth and what happens to the range. And what do you notice about the beaks? Are they very small? Are they medium? Are they very large? Okay. Then for activity B, we're going to change the rainfall to be a drought. And the question is, what do you think is going to happen? What kind of beak do you think is going to happen, is going to be best for finding food in a drought? So here is a clue. In extreme drought, Galapagos plants don't produce new seeds. The small, delicate seeds get eaten quickly, leaving behind only the largest, toughest seeds. So what do you think is going to happen to the beak size of the birds that survive and are able to eat those largest, toughest seeds? And what you're going to do is, I think we're going to hit reset again. So you're going to sketch the current histogram, and then you're going to sketch what you predict to happen. So the way you sketch on these Google Docs is you click on the image, and then you go to edit, and then you pick a drawing tool, which can be a line, or you can do a scribble. So if you do a scribble, then your picture might not be super great. Okay. But if you do a line, it's a little better. But I don't want you to agonize over this part. Okay, so both of these are not really great. I'm supposed to be drawing this, which I'm not doing a great job at, but I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do my prediction. So if I think that the beaks are going to get smaller, I'm going to make my little graphs over here. I'm going to show that more of the birds are going to have beak depths of 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. If I think that the beak depths are going to be bigger, then I'm going to draw my graph to show bigger bars on the bigger depths. And then you're going to go ahead and move the sliders down so they only have 2 inches of rain. And I'm not going to play it because then I'm going to give away the exciting conclusion. And then you're going to see your results. Answer those questions. Part C, now you get to give them lots of rain, and you're going to run it for 5 years. But before you do that, you're supposed to predict. What do you think is going to happen when there is lots of rain? How do you think that's going to affect the beak depth of the finches? Which finches are going to survive and be able to eat food and reproduce and pass their beak size on to their offspring? So here it gives you a little bit more information. In these years where there's a lot of rain, the plants produce an enormous number and variety of seeds. So think about what kind of beak size might be more abundant. What shape would be best for finding food when there's a lot of rain? Okay, I think that should help you. If you have any other questions, let me know.